So today we're doing a thermostat change on a 2008 Toyota Highlander 3.3 liter EV. Right now at this point I've removed the intake, the air box, filter, and some of the plastic on top of the engine here. We're going to be working our way down to access where this radiator hose goes up. The thermostat is located down in here. You can't really see it at the moment. So this is the front of the vehicle. The thermostat's going to be on the right hand side down there. I'll pause the video and I'll update when I have a little bit more progress. Alright, so I drained the radiator, we got the cap off, opened the drain, made a little bit of a mess. We got to remove the bracket that was here. That's what it looks like. Kind of tight space to get to, but 10 mil. You remove all the hoses out of the way, pull them all off, get everything disconnected, pushed out of the way. All the connections, a lot of electrical that's gonna plug down. If you see, there's a focus. There's a sensor there, it's plugged in. There's a ground wire also connected to that bracket you gotta undo. Here's another one, there's two. There's another sensor here you gotta unplug. And then one straight down here, unplug that, push all the wiring harness. Just stuff it all back that way as best you can. So here's the thermostat housing. I was able to get one screw off at this point. The second one, let's see if we can get, it's not really focusing. Let's see if I can move the light for you to show you. Alright, so the second, it's right, if I get my light to stay. It's gonna be right there. Let's have my light here. So that's the nut right there that on the tip of my finger. I'll try to point out with a screwdriver. Get the right angle at it. There's a lot going on here. Basically right here where my screwdriver's pointing down. I can't get a shot at it just because there's so much going on here. But yeah. So I'm gonna work on getting that bolt. Key to that is you gotta run an extension underneath the extension underneath the housing here to get to the bolt underneath. So you got to come out, get to it from this, but the wire harness is all in the way, so you got to shove it all back and you should be able to get to it. All right, so I was able to get the 3 bolts off the thermostat housing. There's one on top, there's here, you see the stud, there's one in the bottom front, and then one back there. It's really difficult to see and get to. You might be able to see the stud shining a little bit right there, the tip of my finger. That's a stud for it, stud here. There is a stud for this one, but it actually came out of the face there with the nut. Instead of the nut coming off the stud, the whole stud came out, so I gotta put that back in. It's gonna be a pain. This is a really tight space. Biggest thing is just folding back this wiring harness. I did end up folding back these other hoses that were connected here and here. Got those 2 hoses out of the way. Then I was able to get those 3 bolts off, or nuts, and now I got it pried back. I'm gonna try to finesse that thermostat out of there with a screwdriver and start putting everything back together. All right, I'm back. One thing to note, got the thermostat removed. I don't think you can really see down in there. It's really hard to get good lighting. Thermostat's removed. So to get enough clearance to get that out of there, it's really tight. I couldn't get it through the top. So, see if I can not lose my wrench in the engine bay while I process this. But all right, where we at? Okay. So what I did is I got screwdrivers, pried it out, and I actually pushed it this direction. There's a couple, I can't really see, wires here. But once you shove it past that, watch out for this. There's a stud here for one of the bolts that hold the housing on. Once you get it pried out and pushed back, it'll actually drop straight out the back of the engine onto the floor. I heard some people say they hooked it and pulled it up to here, but this doesn't go back anymore. And one thing to note, to get as much room as possible clearance here, there's actually a bracket right here that mounts up here to the side of the engine. So unbolt that. Everything is 10 mil except for this so far. This bolt was a 12 mil. But once you unbolt that, you can swing this into the housing or the pipe over and give it that angle that you need to get the clearance to get that thermostat out. So, all right, this is probably gonna be the end of my video. I'm just gonna put the new thermostat in and do everything in reverse order. I might have skipped over some stuff, but everything's pretty much self-explanatory as far as just if something's in the way, just disconnect it and move it. I mean, really all it is. I don't know what none of this is called. I'm not a mechanic. I'm just got a dumb monkey brain and I can problem solve. So disconnect wires, disconnect hoses, get them out of the way. Drain the fluid first, your radiator. That way you don't have a big mess. So yeah, everything's 10 mil, except for this bracket up here. This one was a 12 mil. 2008 Toyota Highlander, 3.3 liter EV hybrid.